Hey, this is Tate McRae, and you're tuned in to Ones to Watch. Tate McRae is a singer and dancer who writes her own music and is just trying to share her art with the world. Who is Tate McRae? I don't know who Tate McRae is. I'm figuring that out slowly. The hardest thing about being a teenager, for me at least, would probably be the mood swings. I swear I'm so up and down, like every single second of every single day. So I mean, that definitely is tough, especially because you're like around so many other teenagers who are also going through a million mood swings. So, I mean, my only way to cope with that is songwriting. The hardest thing about being a teenager today, I would say, is probably the social media aspect of it. I mean, it's kind of torture looking at your phone every single day and comparing yourself to every single person who's out there. So I think that's kind of probably the biggest struggle of a teenager. I mean, it's definitely hard because my life is very consumed with my work right now, and it has been since I was like 9 years old. But I definitely take the time to like figure out who my real friends are and definitely make an effort to see them and make sure I'm like visiting them on a daily basis and like being able to see people. I mean, I'm a very social person, so I will actually go insane if I don't see people my own age. I don't have a lot of time outside of music. The schedule is very busy right now, so it's very hard to make time for friends. I wake up in the morning. I go to school, an actual school, for about 2 hours. I've done a lot of my schoolwork like in previous years. And then I go home, I do all my work, and I write songs, and I get everything done like that I'm supposed to be doing in LA the next week or whatever, so I can like prepare myself and have meetings in that little like time slot, and then I go to dance for like 3 or 4 hours, and then I come home, and then I do homework, and then I go to bed. So a day in my life would usually be I wake up early in the morning, I go work out, I probably have a couple interviews, and then I go straight to a writing session or rehearsals or something, and I'll get back late at night, and then I'll eat dinner and repeat it again. I mean, right now the crazy experience would be signing with RCA Records. That was pretty cool just because, I never thought that I would sign with an actual record label. I got #1 on pop radio, which was crazy, but the crazy experience is that my team brought me like this massive cake of my face. It was like sitting in my house for like 3 weeks. It was just huge. Biggest cake I've ever seen in my life, so that was crazy. My biggest pet peeve would have to be when people chew with their mouth open. Probably. I've had to sign a person's forehead before. I mean, I think it's so weird when people make me sign their electronics. I'm like, what if you hate me in 1 year? Like, then you're gonna really regret this signature that I'm putting onto your phone. I have had some crazy fan experiences. I feel like the weirdest part is when they're just like crying a lot, and when they come up to you, I think it's like the cutest thing in the entire world. I'm like, don't want them to cry, but it's just like the coolest experience getting to meet them every time. It's been weird because I've been in a pandemic for a majority of my career, but it's still been crazy. I think people resonate with my music because I write about like teenage issues, just like everything that's going in my head, and everything that I write about is so real and so genuine to myself, so I just feel like people can connect with my words and be like, oh, I can never say that, but that's exactly how I feel. I feel like people resonate with my music because it's genuinely just things I've felt before. And if you're writing from something that you feel as a human and it's not something just superficially made up, I feel like people have gone through it at some point. We're all very, very similar in a lot of ways, but just like don't even realize it until you write songs. In 5 years, hopefully on like a third album or something, performing a lot, going on tour. I'm just moved to LA, so still living in LA. It's kind of hard to think about that in 5 years because you never know like where your music is going to go or what kind of headspace you're going to be in 5 years. I definitely would just still want to be creating music, hopefully have an album out and be performing places and living in LA. That would be the dream.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Being a dancer benefits me in a lot of ways. I think it's because just feeling the music is like the best feeling when you're on stage. So the fact that I can join in with my dancers and literally just be with them dancing the whole time is like the best feeling ever.
I'm scared of the dark. I'm actually so scared of the dark. People think the lights in my room are just like trendy and cool, but no. I'm actually scared of the dark. I'm scared of heights and I'm scared of sharks.
My biggest fear is right now death, sharks, and the dark. No way. So I'm deathly allergic to fish, so I still hate it. I mean, I love fish. Like, if I could eat fish, I would eat it all the time. But I'm deathly allergic, so I don't want to do that. And I love mayonnaise because in sandwiches, it's really good.
I really hate mayonnaise. I think that's gross. I really don't like mayonnaise.
I've changed. I know. If I could give one piece of advice to my younger self, it would be just trust that everything you're doing is supposed to happen for that reason. So, yeah.